Hey guys, what's up? This is Craig Cosmo. Today I'm going to be reviewing Tales from the Darkside Season 1, Episode 2, I'll Give You a Million. Now, before I begin talking about this episode, I want to apologize in my last video for calling it Episode 2, and in reality, which is Episode 1 of the review from my last video. This one is an Episode 2 of this review. So anyways, without further ado, let's begin. So the story is basically about two main protagonist characters, one being Duncan William and the other one being Jack Blaine. And these two characters are basically businessmen that are inside the car or limousine in the back of the vehicle, in which they were both heading directly towards to Duncan Williams' house. And Duncan Williams and Jack Blaine were both playing a pool game, and after that, Jack Blaine was losing to Duncan Williams, and then Duncan Williams then told Jack Blaine that he would give him $1 million in exchange for Jack Blaine's soul. And Jack Blaine find it completely silly and ridiculous, and so because of this, Jack Blaine decided to go along with Duncan Williams' offer. And since Jack Blaine went along with the offer, Duncan Williams then created a contract where Jack Blaine then signed a deal in exchange for $1 million. And after they both exchanged between the money and the soul, Duncan Williams then hold on to Jack Blaine's soul, and while Jack Blaine holds on to Duncan Williams' $1 million. And that's how it happened in the story. Now, I will talk about some of the scenes that I like, and I will also be giving away some few spoilers. So if you haven't seen this episode yet, I would recommend watching it either on DVD or online somewhere else as I talk about it. So anyways, let's talk about some of the scenes that I like from Tales from the Darkside Season 1, Episode 2, I'll Give You a Million. So one of my favorite scenes that I like from this episode is that when Duncan Williams wakes up from his desk because of the wind was blowing, when Duncan Williams thought that his butler forgot to close the window, when in reality it was already been closed. It's because the wind was blowing inside, which is kind of very weird and kind of very strange. And not only just that, Duncan Williams was then still holding a piece of paper and goes into his bedroom, and then later on Jenny, who is Jack Blaine's maid or something like that, tells him that Jack Blaine passed away, and which Duncan Williams was shocked and believes that Jack Blaine was cheating him out. And that is basically one of my favorite scenes because Duncan Williams believes that Jack Blaine was cheating him out. And another one of my favorite scenes that I like in this story is when Duncan Williams was going to open the door because he believes that cops were knocking inside the door, because Duncan Williams believes that a burglar was out there trying to rob something from Duncan Williams. So later on when he opens the door, it turns out that it was Jack Blaine's ghost. And not only is Jack Blaine really a ghost, but he's also kind of like a zombie ghost that was holding something in a container which contains his soul. And that's basically about it. And the last scene that I absolutely like is when the devil shows up into collecting Jack Blaine's soul. And not only he's there to collect Jack Blaine's soul, he was also there to collect Duncan Williams' soul. And that is basically one of my favorite scenes that I like the most, because the devil appeared in the end of the story. So now that I'm done talking about my favorite scene, now I want to talk about my favorite special effects that I like. My favorite effects that I like is when Jack Blaine's spirit was able to teleport from one location to another, and which was really awesome. And same thing can be said with the devil, and which is still one of my favorite special effects, including teleportations and disappearing from one location to another, which was very, very cool. And now for the setting. I kind of like the setting where it takes place in Duncan Williams' house, and I also kind of like the setting where not only it takes place inside of Duncan's house, but also outside of Duncan's house, which was really, really awesome. So now for my final thoughts of this episode of overall. Overall, I give this rating of this episode from Tales from the Darkside Season 1, Episode 2, I'll give you a million. 10 out of 10 for being a very excellent and scary episode. So anyways, this is Craig Cosmo. Until next time, bye.